I saw somebody peddling the forgiveness Kool-Aid, and I just was like, oh, God, if I hear that anymore, what a crock of shit. Forgive somebody who tried to murder me. Forgive somebody whose friend gave me a drink that was laced with poison. Forgive somebody that was cheating on me. Forgive somebody whose friend hit me in the stomach when I was pregnant. I mean, I just look at the bullshit. It's just like, when I call it out for what it is, bullshit. Don't sit there and tell me to forgive somebody that what was up to no good. That's about as absurd as when I was told to forgive a rapist. I just that's the same bullshit that they're peddling in the churches with the wolves in shepherd's clothing. But look at it. But look at who it is that keeps relocating the sexual predators. Look at who it was that wrote up immunity for being prosecuted in premeditated crimes. I mean, call it out for what it is. It's just like, go peddle the Jim Jones Kool-Aid elsewhere. Basically, the bullshit. And that's not to say that there are not women out there who are predators. I don't even want to go into the women who are predators. I mean, they're to me, a predator is a predator is a predator. And predators come in different shapes, sizes, colors. That basically, a predator is a predator. A predator doesn't come up and go, "Oh, I'm a predator. I'm gonna destroy your life." No, that's part of what a predator does. That's the reason why I disagree with Robert Hare saying that a hair psychopathy, that a brain scan or brain imaging needs to be done. No, just look at the oh, I mean, well, even before I saw the domestic violence wheel, it's just kind of like, it was so obvious what the ones involved in domestic violence do. I mean, even when I was, oh, real young, even before I was in preschool, uh, I could tell that isolation was a big factor in what a predator does. It's just like the predators that sat there and told me to get into a playhouse, and then next thing I know is I'm busy having to fight them off. That they wouldn't have gone up and said, "Oh, Mama, we went ahead and tied her up, and we were busy trying to rip her clothes off." No, they're not gonna admit to any wrongdoing. I mean, I just look at the stuff. It's just kind of like the saying, "There's no honor among thieves." In fact, I think that's the reason why I was told that I had to have the word honor put into the wedding band. Isn't that sick? That it that's the reason why when people end up dealing with somebody like that, um, that they most definitely feel like they're walking on eggshells, and that man, I just look at some of the crap. It's like one day being told that needed to have such and such moved from one place to another place, and then busting my ass and having it moved to a certain place, and then that was never good enough. Just more of always having to have control. I mean, imagine going to eat lunch and being in such a sick situation that his mother is staring at my boobs and talking about push-ups. I'm like, push-ups? What are push-ups? Oh, well, you know, those things that you put underneath your boobs in order to make them look bigger. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I think back on I mean, that's just what I'm saying. It would have been a whole hell of a lot easier had I not been lied to by the preacher about getting a marriage license. Uh, it, the preacher didn't disclose to me that a marriage license was a contract. And it's worse than that. The preacher acted stupid when I spoke to him, to he and his wife, and about the amount of violence that I was had. I mean, it's just like that's the reason why I have the attitude that all preachers can go to hell. I know that might sound bad, but when I look at the shit that they do and the shit that they're basically the hypocrites that Jesus was speaking about. That's one group of the hypocrites. They don't have marriage licenses, and they sit there and intentionally lie to people. You don't see them sitting there and having to go to court and all that kind of shit and having their stuff all over the in public. It's because they're Masons. I think every single preacher is either a Mason or a Jesuit. But the thing is preacher, Jesuit, Mason. None of them have a license from an independent state licensing agency. They're a bunch of con artists. The sooner that people look at them as a bunch of damn con artists, and they're kind of like having a masquerade party out in the open, the sooner off people will be. And that's the reason why I think that when the Bible has written, and it come out of her my people, that do not partake in her sins, that the her that it is that the Bible is speaking about is the churches, whether it be synagogue, mosque, um, or any of the churches, temples, whatever. That's part of the reason why I think that religions Roman Empire legions are the weapon of mass destruction. And I would say that the ones involved in the mass destruction are the preachers, the youth group ministers, the ushers, the preachers' wives, the rabbis' wives, the what are they called, imam or whatever they are in the Muslim religion. Um, yeah, it's just like Farrakhan. I think that Farrakhan is up to no good, just like Kenneth Copeland's up to no good, just like Benny Hinn's up to no good, just like T.D. Jakes is up to no good, just like Joyce Myers is up to no good. I think that they're on a mission from hell, no pun intended, to divide and conquer. But basically, I think that Farrakhan is pitting blacks against whites. I, I was in a real small town, and I was like just very shocked. What it is they literally had a white church catty corner from a black church, and I was actually going to the black church, and it hit me then. It's just like it's like, well, what's the real reason why they have have two different churches? To me, that was no different than the what is it, the water fountain for the blacks, or the water fountain for the coloreds, whatever they had in the things, and whatever. What I'm getting at is it's just another divide and conquer thing. And that's the reason I'm saying is the worst thing that the ones with the keys to the government buildings would want people to do is to not be divided or not be splintered, if that makes sense. Not be fractured. I had my ass chewed out because what I was trying to do is have it so the people that were actually doing the work had better conditions. And instead of feeling like we were going to pass out from the heat and all that kind of stuff. And I had my ass chewed out. What was basically verbally threatened not to ever let that happen again. And at the time, what it was is I was working in a factory where it was hotter than hell, and it was miserable. Absolutely miserable. And all I could think of is, well, it must be nice for the ones in the air conditioned buildings with the air conditioned offices to sit there and tell me not to want to have it where the people who are actually doing the work have the air conditioning. I mean, think about that. I can't even go into the number of times that I've been retaliated against. It's not only that, basically, that there's something that deals with sororities and fraternities, and it deals with being blackballed. There's a little wooden box that people used to put either a white marble or a black marble into, and I wonder if that's the reason why I was given 3 black pearls, was if that was a way to say that I've been blackballed. But not only that, I wonder if that's the reason why the ones in public office tend to wear white pearls, like they've been given the approval to basically do whatever frick they want to do. But also, when an oyster is formed, it usually is an irritant to the oyster. And so, what is it that somebody would wear who has been irritating to, who treats people like oysters and irritates the crap out of them? That they would basically take what they wanted away from the oysters and just act stupid about adding the irritant to the oyster to produce the pearl to begin with.